unbelievable performance
Yeah, it was
against
crazy.
Felipe Lobo. You were down, you were up. He was down, he was out. How was it for you?
I mean, it was a crazy ride in there, you know. I enjoyed it, funny enough. I felt like I needed him to sort of put that pressure on me and stop me for me to come out of second gear, you know. I had, I wouldn't say a good fight camp. My fight camp wasn't that good, you know. There was a little few ups and downs, but the main thing was I got in there and I done what I had to do. And it was a tough fight. Props to him. He brought it to me. He said he was going to bring it to me, you know. All fight week, he was telling me he's going to knock me out. And then yeah, he brought it to me, so props to him. And it was a very exciting fight, and it would just come down to who wanted it more and whose recovery was the best.
Where does that confidence come from to know that you can do something that you've never actually had to do before in terms of coming back from damage like that?
I mean, confidence comes from what you put in the gym.
Mhm.
You know, I know to myself I put in 100% all the time. So once I get in that ring, I know I'm fully prepared, and I'm prepared for anything. So prepared for anything, like for instance, getting punched in the head and getting knocked down. And I can tell myself, you got this. You've been knocked down before. You can get back up. So that was it, really.
You referenced at the top then, it wasn't necessarily an easy
Hmm.
training camp before the fight. And, you know, to be frank, the news you received
Yeah,
before the fight, you would be well within your rights to say, I'm not going to compete.
yeah, yeah.
Can you just tell us a little bit about what happened?
Yeah, so basically, like, I was in the fighters' hotel, and it was like the day before the fight, basically. And then I got a phone call from my trainer, and it was a phone call as if once I put the phone down, I said to my girlfriend, That doesn't sound right." He said he wants to come up and speak to me. That doesn't sound right. So I thought my opponent's obviously pulled out, and that's what they come to tell me. Knocked on the door, and they just told me that basically my uncle passed away, and it didn't hit me until I closed the door. Closed the door, had a cry, and then just thought to myself, this will be dedicated for him for sure. So went out there and dedicated that fight to him.
Well, I'm so sorry for your loss. We all
Thank you,
are
mate.
here at Sky Sports. Were you guys close?
Yeah, it was very close. You know, growing up with him from a young age in the down the caravan, I used to torment him all the time. But he's now watching down on me, so watching my career. So I'm very thankful. So next fight is scheduled for the 6th of September. Um, Big fight coming up. You know, I managed to get revenge now for this fight. So I fought him before, around 7 8 years ago, and he managed to stop me in the second round due to a cut. But now's the time, you know, to get revenge, and I'm excited for it.
Take us back to the first fight. When was it? How did it go? Tell us all about it.
So was that the first fight with Superlek?
Yes, please.
Okay, so yeah, the first fight with Superlek was in Bolton. I'd say it was about not really good, too good with dates, like I said. It's about 7 years ago, 6 years ago, and I shouldn't have stepped in there with him if I'm totally honest. I had about 13 fights. He had about 200, 300 fights. He was dominating everyone. He was the best in the world, and I was just an up and coming fighter. And that's where I think I've got so far in my career because I've took every fight which they've offered me. And it went to the second round, and he caught me with an elbow, and he stopped me because the ref stopped the fight because the blood was going in my eye, which I don't agree with. But obviously the ref is there to help you, and he's there to yeah, he's there to help you, and the ref stopped it really. So
Mm.
that was it.
A little bit of armchair
Hmm.
analysis here, but you look like a completely different person.
Yep.
I mean, your physique is like you. Not going to say anything
Yep.
too judgmental here, but your body looked like someone who didn't necessarily know everything they need to
Yeah,
know
no, for
about
sure.
nutrition, and it looked like someone who just hadn't
Hmm.
eaten for a few weeks and was just dragging themselves through it. But even your style wise, like again, I'm sort of out of my depth here talking about X's and O's of Muay Thai, but like if you watch you now,
Yeah.
you're fainting more, your
Yeah.
hands are better. It's almost like you had the tools, but you didn't
I
necessarily
didn't
know
know
how to use them. Is that
exactly.
fair?
Yeah, that's completely
You can
right.
tell me I'm wrong if I
That's
am.
completely right. You
Please.
know, I was sort of playing their sort of style, like their sort of their rhythm. Now I've sort of I've learnt my own style, feints, like you said, and I've come to age now where I'm dangerous now, and I know my style, and I know what my weapons are, my best weapons are, and what I'm best at, and that's it really.
I mean, how have you managed to change your style? What were the kind of things you learned and brought in?
So I'd say just fighting the best in the world from such a young age, fighting the best in the world, knowing what works and what don't work, and I sort of changed my style like the second or the third fight in on my one championship fight. I changed my style, and that was the first fight against Rotang. I sort of started changing my style, going southpaw, orthodox, and I started realising that works a lot. And yeah, ever since that fight with the first fight with Rotang, my style was just completely changed for the better. For the better, as you'd say. 'Cause apparently, I look terrible. I'm joking.
When could we potentially see you fighting on home turf again? Because Colorado is, I don't know if you realise this, miles away. Miles away.
I mean, if it was up to me, I'd fight there next week. I'd be fighting in the UK next week. But hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. There's always talks about bringing it to the UK, and I've got both the belts now. I've done my job.
Who'd be the right opponent for a UK fight?
I mean, there's been some talks about a few opponents. Like Liam Harrison was one of them, but I'm not sure if he'd like to fight me now. I'm in my prime, and I feel like he just wants to fight legends now and just create a legacy. We both are the best in the UK. There's no doubt about it. And once that fight gets agreed, if it ever does get agreed, I feel like the fans are going to jump on it. They're going to love it. I'm a fighter. Like, I love to give the fans what they want, you know. And I feel like Liam Harrison, Jonathan Haggerty, that is what all the fans are calling for. And hopefully one day he grows a pair and we can get it on.
Have you got? We'll send him this clip. Do you have a sort of polite or otherwise message you want to send to Liam?
Let's just give the fans what they want. You know, may the best man win. Let's go.
What's an easier fight, him or Nico?
Liam Harrison's an easier fight for sure. No disrespect, but that's how I feel.
I understand that you played a little bit of football when you were younger as well. How good were you?
Not to be big-headed, but I feel like I was quite good. You know, left-footed, and I was at Charlton, Fulham at such a young age, and funny enough, I had to choose between fighting or football, and I don't know why, but I chose fighting. I chose to get punched in the face for a living. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed football. Still to this day, I like to play a little bit of football.
Do you?
Yeah, in my downtime, just have a little kick about.
Let's play a little game before we wrap things up.
Okay.
Give me 3 footballers, past, present, who you back to have made it in martial arts.
Okay, I'd say Wayne Rooney.
Wayne Rooney, right.
Wayne Rooney.
He's got a bit of a boxing background.
Yeah,
Wayne.
strong choice.
Present, I'd say.
Got knocked out by Phil Bardsley, I think.
I remember watching that, yeah.
Yeah, so not a great start to the career, but...
Would say, who else? We're going to go Virgil van Dijk.
Virgil van Dijk, sort of rangy Dutch kickboxer you could have there.
And then we're going to have to go someone quite quick. Who we got? I'd say...
Roy Keane.
I mean, yeah, there we go. There's one of them.
Not quick, but the
I'd say,
raw aggression.
Yeah. I'd say him, yeah. That's a good choice.
So we've got, what was our 3? Virgil van Dijk, Roy
Rooney,
Keane, Wayne Rooney. What's good about them as well is they're all different weight classes.
Yeah.
You've got Roy Keane could be middleweight, Van Dijk heavyweight, Rooney could be super heavyweight. You never know.
Big snub for TV hard man Vinnie Jones.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good
I
one.
mean, I don't know if he can fight. He looks like he can, though.
Talks like he can.
Yeah, exactly.
Talks like he can. Walks like he can.
He must be able
Let's
to.
chuck him in,
Let's
see
get
how
him
he
in
gets
there.
on. Let's chuck him in with Van Dijk, see how he goes.